Just 2 seconds.
It says we're streaming.
I believe we are live. So everybody that can see us, welcome to Wednesday morning's Nutrafit live webinar with Dr. Jordan Morton, and today we are going to talk about inflammation and the anti-inflammatory diet. I'm really looking forward to hearing this morning, Jordan. So you're going to see me turn off, and as soon as I do, you are welcome to fly, my friend.
Okay.
In 2 seconds here. We are officially live screening. I'm going to see myself off. Enjoy. Bye for now.
Cool. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're all doing well today. It is beautiful outside, so hopefully you're getting out, getting a little bit of sun, trying to make the best of this. And like Dr. Doyle said, today we are going to be talking about inflammation and the anti-inflammatory diet. So I want to use this as an opportunity to tie into what's going on right now in the world in terms of the coronavirus and how an anti-inflammatory diet is important today, but then also how an anti-inflammatory diet is important after this all blows over, and why you may want to consider adopting an anti-inflammatory diet and incorporating some of these top anti-inflammatory foods into what you're consuming day by day. Okay, so it's not just important now, it is important for the rest of your life. So inflammation. I mean, we all hear about inflammation all the time, right? Like my wrist is inflamed, my knee is inflamed, my low back is killing me and it's inflamed. So, you know, inflammation, sometimes it can actually be a good thing when we are healing from injuries. I utilize the power of inflammation whenever I do a regenerative injection like prolotherapy and PRP, but it's when we get stuck in chronic inflammation and things just stay inflamed, they stay achy and sore, that's when we kind of run into problems. So how does this tie into what's going on in the world today? Well, I mentioned last week that a lot of the people who are really getting hit hard by this coronavirus have underlying issues, things like cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, diabetes, obesity, and these all have an inflammatory component. Okay, it's important to understand these kind of pathologies, they all have some kind of underlying inflammatory mechanism that is a part of them. So when we look at an anti-inflammatory diet, that is something that can often help reduce this burden of inflammation, and usually it's a fairly healthy, whole foods kind of diet that's going to be good for a number of other things. Just to kind of go back to the underlying conditions and comorbidities, we call them. There was a report that came out of the CDC the other day, and I'm just looking at it here. 94% of people who died from coronavirus complications had one or more underlying conditions. So these are that, you know, diabetes, obesity, and diabetes, cardiovascular disease, lung disease, hypertension. So I think it's crucial now more than ever that we commit to our health. The healthier we are, the stronger and more resilient and more capable we are of dealing with not only this coronavirus that's happening now, but the yearly flu, different kinds of colds, parasites, and things that are coming at us every single day, right? We can't run from bacteria and viruses forever, but we can take control and make ourselves our best, healthiest, strongest, and most resilient selves possible. So don't get me wrong. Yes, we need to wash our hands. Yes, we need to practice and maintain social distancing. And by the way, BC, nice work, everybody. That curve is looking flatter and flatter. Keep it up. I think we're all doing wonderfully. And the other thing, though, is yes, healthy young people are getting hit by this virus and sadly are dying because of it. So these things are all very important, but I think that we need to take this pandemic as a little bit of a wake-up call and utilize it as an opportunity to really work on our own health and make ourselves, like I said, the strongest, resilient, healthiest selves possible. So that is something that we can focus on and things that we can control. And at Backfit, if you've been tuning in, you know that we have our 4 pillars, our Spine Fit, Get Fit, Nutrafit, and Mind Fit. So these are things, like I said, we can control to really take control of our health. So inflammation. Okay, I'm going to go through my top 8 foods, things that I really want you to be focusing on and including in your diet to help you bring down inflammation and kind of get that under control. Now, there's a caveat to this, and that's that for every individual person, not all of these foods are going to digest extremely well. And in some people, there's going to be certain foods that just don't sit well with them. So we're all unique. We're all individuals. We all respond differently to different kinds of foods, supplements, medications even. And it's just important to keep that in mind. One person might really thrive when they're eating fish, peas, beans, eggs, whatever else. And for another person, that food might completely light them up. Now, we can do specific tests to actually find out what your inflammatory foods are. It's a simple blood test. We send it off to a lab and it comes back and it lets us know what foods you thrive on and what foods you want to stay away from. So it's a pretty amazing thing. And I've really found a lot of people utilize that test and feel better when they get rid of some of those inflammatory foods that are specific for them. With inflammation and specifically with gut inflammation, some of these foods that people eat, it's really interesting some of the systemic effects that you notice when you remove some of the inflammatory foods. I touched on low backs and knees, and yeah, joints absolutely get affected by the food that we eat. The inflammation that happens in the gut can go all over the body. So if you have an old shoulder injury and you're eating a diet that is inflammatory and causing your body to have elevated inflammatory markers, you might be feeling that shoulder a little bit more. The skin is another system that I've really noticed in patients, specifically when it comes to removing dairy from the diet. People find they remove dairy, skin inflammation goes down, mucus and phlegm production seems to decrease as well. So dairy can be a big one for skin. Stools in general, right? When it comes to our digestive tract, sometimes people find they remove a certain food or group of foods and all of a sudden their constipation is relieved, their gas and bloating goes down. All sorts of different effects can happen when we remove some of these anti-inflammatory foods. And one of the things that I think is most interesting with inflammation and our diet is that mood and mental, emotional differences that happen when people remove some of these foods. So if we have a lot of inflammation happening, you might actually feel a little bit of anxiety, some depression, that brain fog that sets in. So sometimes removing the right foods and putting the correct foods in can make a big difference in how we feel cognitively. It's super interesting. Okay, so my top 8 foods, and I'm going to go through these, and then I want you to hold on to the end because I'm going to run through a couple of diet plans that I want to make available for you guys as well. So we're going to start with the 8 foods, and I'm just going to do a quick screen share here so we can run through these together. And I think that should do it. So you should see top anti-inflammatory foods, Dr. Morton's picks to help you fight inflammation right there for you. So number 1 right off the bat there is berries. Berries are fantastic. I encourage people to eat these every single day. They have an incredibly high ORAC rating, which is how we gauge the antioxidant potential in certain foods. So, you know, any berry you can find. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, salmon berries, those are fantastic. Lots of different berries that grow right around here on the island. I encourage you, eat them. Try to incorporate them into your diet. Have them with a handful of nuts for a nice little snack. Put them into a smoothie. Put them on top of oatmeal, your cereal. In summer salads, right? Berries on top of like a spinach salad. It's fantastic. Try to incorporate those as much as you can. Avocados. Not everybody is going to associate avocados as a top anti-inflammatory food right off the bat, but it is full of omega-3 fatty acids, which are our anti-inflammatory fats. So avocados are a wonderful food to consume. Super high in fiber as well, so really good for your gut health. Definitely something worth eating. Number 3 is turmeric. This is something, if you have had an orange, yellow, red kind of looking curry, chances are you've eaten some turmeric. I love to eat just the whole root. I'll take it and I'll throw it into a smoothie and blend it up with everything else that I'm consuming. And turmeric is, you know, it's kind of become the darling of the naturopathic, functional medicine, herbal medicine world because it has such a wide range of effects on the body. It's anti-tumor effects, anti-cancer effects. It helps with cardiovascular disease. It's hepatoprotective, so it's really good for our liver, and it's got a strong antioxidant component to it too. So yeah, I encourage everyone to eat turmeric or take curcumin, which is the active constituent in turmeric. So if you can find a curcumin supplement, it's a wonderful thing. One thing with the turmeric though, when you consume it, try to consume it with a little bit of pepper. It actually helps increase the bioavailability of it. So yeah, when you're making your curries, grind a little fresh pepper on there and eat that with your turmeric. Number 4, green tea. Probably one of the most potent anti-inflammatory drinks that you're going to find. The polyphenols and antioxidant content of green tea is extremely high and absolutely one of the best things that you can drink. It's been utilized as a medicine for thousands of years, and more and more research is coming out about the powerful properties of green tea. So, maybe substitute your second or third cup of coffee with a cup of green tea, have it in the afternoon as a nice little pickup. It does have caffeine in it, but it also has something called theanine in it. So you get a little bit of a boost from the caffeine, but that theanine just helps to balance you out. So green tea is a wonderful drink. Extra virgin olive oil, number 5. I love using olive oil when I'm cooking. The only caveat is that you should really be using it either at low heat or adding it to your food afterwards. When you're cooking with olive oil and you blast it up on high heat, if you're sauteing at high heat or something, you can actually cause rancidity in the olive oil, and you can change some of the good health promoting benefits of it to being a little bit more inflammatory. So extra virgin olive oil is amazing. It tastes wonderful. It adds a really great texture to food. Just make sure that you're either cooking at a really low heat with it or adding it on afterwards. What else can I say? Thai and vitamin E, really wonderful antioxidant content with that. So yeah, consume olive oil, just not at high heat. Number 6, this is my favorite on the list, good quality dark chocolate. It might be a bit of a surprise to see this on the list, but you have to make sure you remember, I'm not talking about, Cadbury milk chocolate. I'm talking about good quality, at least 70% dark chocolate. Oh, thanks. So dark chocolate can definitely be an anti-inflammatory food. Just make sure you're purchasing the right kind, okay? Nuts and seeds. Things like hemp seeds, flaxseed, chia seeds, almonds, walnuts, all high in omega-3 content and absolutely are anti-inflammatory. Just watch out for consuming the concentrated products of these, some of like the nut butters and especially something like peanut butter. Peanut butter, it's absolutely fine, but don't be eating 6-7 tablespoons of it, super calorically dense, and it does have a little bit higher of the omega-6, so just watch out eating some of the nut butters like that. And number 8, leafy greens. This is on pretty much any healthy eating list that I make for people. I think leafy greens are fantastic for so many different things. Just make sure that you're eating a variety of them, right? Spinach, kale, romaine, arugula. Try growing some different greens. Definitely try to include leafy greens in your diet every single day. Absolutely wonderful and antioxidant rich. Okay, I'm going to take the screen share off here. Stop sharing. Okay, now a couple of things that I don't want you to be consuming, some of the inflammatory foods that I think usually are a bit of a no-brainer, but is always worth remembering. Our refined, our processed, our fried foods, right? Any kind of fast food, something that's going to, come out of a deep fryer. These are inflammatory foods. This is often going to, set your gut off, cause the inflammatory markers in your blood to rise, and really are not health promoting at all. So one of the best things you can do is really focus on eating at home, cooking with whole foods, and really controlling your diet like that. Every now and then, obviously, we love to eat out and have something that's, probably better tasting than we can eat at home. But I really try to focus on having like a 90-10, 80-20 kind of thing. 80 or 90% of the foods that we eat are health promoting. 10% of the foods are going to be something that we really enjoy just to help keep us happy, keep us sane. So try not to eat those cookies, cakes, sweets, treats, white bread. Even honestly, some of these foods, they're going to help drive inflammation, and we just want to stay away from that. So to make this easier on you, I included, I'm just going to do another screen share here, a couple of anti-inflammatory diets and some things that I think are fantastic for you to include. Oh, one second, just got to pull this up here. There we go. Screen share. So I've got 2 different diet plans I'm going to include here. One is a standard anti-inflammatory diet that we have created. So it is a 7-day diet plan that's going to take you through your grocery list, when to prepare food, when to store food, what the nutrient levels are for each of them, so you can really kind of get a good idea about what it is that you're putting into your body. Some fun recipes on here: paleo sweet potato porridge, immunity boosting smoothies, steel cut oats, one pan chicken, golden cauliflower and carrot fries, like lots of really good stuff, all in the idea of being a good anti-inflammatory diet. The second one that I'm going to include is a vegan, whole food, plant-based meal plan that is anti-inflammatory in nature. So right off the bat here, we can see avocados, lots of veggies, really good looking stuff. Now, as you go through this, we see berries and nuts, steel-cut oats, berry avocado smoothies, tofu, broccoli, brown rice, like lots of good things, tons of anti-inflammatory meals right here. So you can see here the meal plan, nice and straightforward. And then we also have all of the nutrition facts if you want to nerd out on that a little bit, and the grocery list right here. So 2 options here for you. We're going to include this in the email that comes out to our Backfit patients. If you want to get a hold of this and you're not on the email list, shoot me an email, drmorton@backfit.ca, and I will be happy to supply this to you, okay? All right. Now, a couple more things. When it comes to inflammation in our gut health, it can be a little bit tricky sometimes, and we can be doing everything we can in terms of what we're eating and what we're doing. But sometimes we need to dig a little bit deeper and try to find out where that inflammation is coming from. Maybe there's an inherent gut issue, right? Maybe we've heard of leaky gut before, or dysbiosis, bacterial overgrowth. Sometimes there's a few things that we need to dive in a little bit deeper just to try to figure out what's going on. And so if you are doing all the things, you're eating an anti-inflammatory diet, you're doing all, your sleep's on track, you're decreasing your stress, you're out there exercising, getting fresh air, doing all these things to really give yourself a good foundation of health, but something's still not right, then I want you to reach out, shoot me an email, like I said, drmorton@backfit.ca, and let me know so that we can start getting to work on fixing your gut health so that we can resolve some of these inflammatory issues and get you feeling your best. Okay. I think that's all I've got for today. I would just love to hear back from some of you. Let us know what you're doing to decrease your inflammation, maybe some of the meals that you like best. And I want you to try some of the dishes that we're including in these meal plans that we're sending out. Give them a shot. There's some really tasty stuff in there. I'm really proud of what we've put together, and I think that you're going to love it. So give them a try. Let us know what you think, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. So have a great rest of your day. And if there's any nutrition topics you really want to know about that you want me to dive into, I'd be happy to do that. Like I said, just let us know in the comments, or if you want to shoot me an email directly, happy to read those and get back to you about it and then do a topic on it next week. So have a great day, everybody. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe, staying healthy, and we will see you next week. Take care.
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate everything. It was fantastic. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Okay, have a great day.